Oh my god, y'all. The 2010s, they're finally over, and we are entering the 2020s. These past 10 years have been, well, mighty huge for anime. From the birth of major hits like One Punch Man, Attack on Titan, and My Hero Academia, to the rise of anime streaming and simulcasts, to the return of Toonami. Let's face it, the 2010s have given us some of the biggest and, in my opinion, most fascinating changes to anime out of any decade thus far. So, let's talk about it. Alright, it's 2010. I'm in middle school, just discovering My Chemical Romance, asking my mom for green streaks in my hair. Things are just awful. However, I am also starting to get really into anime that year, and what a great time to do so. Shows like Durarara, Baka and Test, and Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt debuted in 2010. Tatami Galaxy and Princess Jellyfish hailed a new wave of bite-sized, beautifully animated, and deeply felt anime that reached beyond their usual audience. Angel Beats was yet another beauty in a bit of a different way. From the creators of Clannad, Canon, and Air, we knew we were in for a tearjerker, and this original anime didn't disappoint. Adrian's crying already. How'd you know? Meanwhile, the creators of Death Note came back with a way more wholesome book-themed anime, Bakuman. High School of the Dead really leaned into the, sexy horror, which we'll see far too much of in the years to come, while Shiki took up Higurashi's torch when the show ended in 2009. Once you get past the, anime hair, it's a really good show, trust me. Not Higurashi good, but whatever. Of course, I wasn't paying much attention to the good stuff because I was too busy watching Hitalia and crying over England and France AMVs. The point is, though, they existed and people were watching them. 2011 graced us with Blue Exorcist, Tiger and Bunny, Haganai, and obviously the greatest anime of all time, thank you very much, Puella Magi Madoka Magica. A beautiful, dark, artistic deconstruction of the beloved magical girl genre, this anime left fans with emotional whiplash week after week, and went on to steal so many people's hearts and wallets. Seriously, have you seen how much god this anime has? It's no secret on this channel that Madoka has had such an important impact on my life overall, and I know I'm not the only one. It also paved the way for a lot of other grimdark maho shoujo of today, like Yuki Yuna as a hero and magical girl Spec Ops Asuka. Madoka wasn't the only anime to stay in people's brains months after ending that year. Anohana, the flower we saw that day, also left anime fans in a pool of their own tears for weeks on end. This anime, about a group of estranged friends who try to mend their group back together years after a tragic accident, made even the roughest and toughest of folks turn into sobbing puddles. And it taught important life lessons about change, friendship, and growing up. Takako Shimura's Wandering Son was a beautiful queer coming-of-age story that was also a major tearjerker. So if you need something that doesn't make you an emotional mess, like me, Dead Man Wonderland also came out in 2011.
What a complete 180. God.
Steins Gate taught fans to be patient. What started off as a slow slice-of-life anime with a weird scientist made a 180 real quick, turning into a thriller/mystery. If you were a fan of Fate Stay Night at the time, you were definitely pumped for Fate Zero. Gen Urobuchi wrote the original novels, and if his nickname, The Butcher, says anything about the content of his works, this was a darker take on Fate. He also wrote Madoka, so I don't think I need to say anymore, except that you should watch my video about visual novels because both Fate Stay Night and Steins Gate are visual novels. Please watch my video about visual novels. I am begging you to watch my video about visual novels. It is really good. Watch my video about visual novels. Watch my visual novel video. That was a really terrible interpretive dance, but watch my visual novel video. And then came Hunter x Hunter. I don't know what there is to say about Hunter x Hunter other than it's what people should watch when they're done watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and they don't know how to fill that void. There is no higher praise than that, honestly. From the creator of Yu Yu Hakusho, Hunter x Hunter is that rare show that only gets better and better, wilder and wilder, until each arc is more feverish and more devastating than the last. That Chimera Ant arc sounds, honestly, real f***ed up. And yeah, we're doing that Hunter x Hunter timeline soon, so please stop asking me while I'm just trying to pet my cats. Thank you. And if all of that isn't enough, we also got Future Diary. Chock full of violence sandwiched between familiar and lovable shonen tropes, Future Diary was surprisingly accessible. Whew, man, 2011 was stacked. But then 2012 came along, and since we're all watching this video in 2020, the end of the world did not happen, much to my displeasure. To be honest, nothing really stood out as the show of the winter season. Another aired, and you know how much I like my dark anime starring cute girls with eye patches. Nisei Monogatari continued the Monogatari goodness, now with Double the Little Sisters, Excuse Me While I Go Puke, Waiting in the Summer, Natsume's Book of Friends, High School DD, and even a Black Rock Shooter series came out. Anybody know what Black Rock Shooter is? Anyone?
I do.
Adrian? Of course Adrian knows. Adrian knows everything about anime. Nerd. But moving on to spring, it's April 1st, 2012, and Cartoon Network headquarters is like, all right, y'all, it's time to cause a scene. Beginning as an April Fool's joke, the network brought the great Toonami back from the dead for just one day, causing quite a stir for people of my generation who grew up watching Toonami. As many of us know, Toonami was a short programming block on Cartoon Network that primarily consisted of anime. Its original run began in 1997 and ended in 2008, and it was really popular since it was the most convenient way for us in the West to watch anime legally if we didn't feel like taking the trip to Blockbuster. Ooh, rip. If you want to learn more about the whole history and impact of this block, then I highly recommend checking out Yudoye's video about Toonami. Since Cartoon Network's Little April Fool's prank caused such an uproar, Adult Swim took to social media and told their fans that their voices could be heard. That is, if they caused enough of a stir on Twitter, of course. You know what happened next. Hashtag Toonami is back. And it returned with a killer starting lineup of shows, including Bleach, FMA Brotherhood, Kasan Sins, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, Deadman Wonderland, and of course, Cowboy Bebop. Now that is the power of nostalgia. 2012 also introduced us to some great new hits like Kuroko's Basketball, and sleeper hits like Psycho-Pass and Kids on the Slope. Kyoto Animation also came out with mostly original shows like Hyoka and Chunibyo. But JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 1 Phantom Blood was also birthed into anime existence that year, and we've been along for that wild ride ever since. Honestly, it's hard to even remember anime before JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's like it's always been here. Unfortunately, other Bizarre Adventures
Come on, boo!
had to end that year to make room for the new ones. Like Bleach. Farewell, Bleach. And yeah, one day we'll do a Bleach timeline too. Leave me alone. Also, welcome SAO! I guess? I know, this one is a bit controversial for a healthy multitude of reasons, but there is no denying SAO's influence in this decade of anime. Although it isn't technically an isekai, it did spark a new era or boom of isekai, kind of. Light novel writers naturally wanted to reach that same level of success as SAO, so stories taking place in MMORPGs and other fantasy settings were churned out like hotcakes. A few years later, though, these imitation stories would become anime, and thus, the isekai boom of the 2010s was born, flattening us all under Truck-kun's wheels, and then transporting us to another world. 2013 was undoubtedly a year of blockbuster anime. Let me start off with Kill la Kill. I remember when there was no escape from this one. Not on Tumblr, not at conventions, not even from your own damn high school's anime club. Kill la Kill was important for several reasons, not just because of its bizarre plot and stylized animation, but also because this anime was actually the first television series helmed by Trigger, the studio founded by former Gainax employees Hiroyuki Imaishi and Masahiko Otsuka. While the Gurren Lagann influence was more than evident in Kill la Kill, it was still able to build its own identity through its complex characters and over-the-top absurdity. It probably also helped that the characters had to fight each other half-naked, but is there any point in me just stating the obvious? Love Live had, just as much fan service, but a milder variety. This idol anime and its wildly addictive rhythm game gacha spin-off made a huge splash, and continues 2 years later. Sorry, I'm just finishing this song up. I'm really bad at this game. Anyway, alright, I can't end this conversation about fan service without bringing up Free. It taught us all that no matter how fit we are, we will never have anime abs, or anime triceps, or anime biceps, or... I'm sorry, what were we talking about again?
Anime in 2013?
Oh yeah, I must have forgot. Got a little distracted. Last but certainly not least, anime fans in 2013 received the behemoth that was Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan may still be a pretty big player today, but the show never really recaptured that same level of hype that it had back in 2013. In my opinion, I think what really made Attack on Titan what it was back then was the element of shock value and dread that we just didn't see in a lot of other shows at the time. I'm not saying that Attack on Titan Season 3 was bad, in fact it was pretty hype. Please don't kill me. I will never forget being at NYCC 2013, just trying to find my fellow Danganronpa fans while cosplaying Kiri Kiri, and seeing AOT cosplayers at every corner. I think I saw more Attack on Titan that year than I saw Homestuck, and that's really saying something. Lastly, I want to mention that 2013 was the year that Hayao Miyazaki announced his retirement, or retirement, I guess. But then it was officially confirmed a few years later that he retired and has new projects that are due to come out. Well, let's move on to 2014. Okay, so speaking of Miyazaki, 2014 brought us one of the most relatable anime memes of all time. Anime was a mistake. This troll quote attributed to Miyazaki was the result of a mistranslation, but I don't really want to question the origins of something that captures the more questionable sides of anime fandom so well. Also, I kind of quote it all the time, especially when it comes to Kurt's tastes. Sorry, Curtis. 2014 also gave us some cool new series like Haikyuu, Tokyo Ghoul, Ping Pong the Animation, and Aka Mega Kill. No Game No Life continues the isekai trend.
And the little sister trend.
Please kill me. Your Lie in April brought tears, and Parasite and Tokyo Ghoul brought us some good old shonen pie. Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works broke the budget, again. And JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stardust Crusaders debuted and stirred up even more hype for the Joestar clan. In the world of streaming, The Knights of Sidonia and Seven Deadly Sins became Netflix's first exclusive anime acquisitions. Meanwhile, Space Dandy was one of the first anime series to have a simuldub with Funimation, meaning that a dubbed version was broadcasted here simultaneously with Japan's original broadcast. Which leads me to one of the biggest developments from this decade in the global anime industry: the rise of streaming. So back in my day, if I wanted to watch an anime that wasn't on Toonami or at the local Blockbuster, then I would have to search all over YouTube for an episode split in 3 parts or more, English fan subs mirrored over Spanish fan subs, and sometimes not every part of the episode would be uploaded. Let's just say that watching Detective Conan was a bit of a struggle. With the rise of Netflix, Crunchyroll, and other streaming services, anime has become more accessible than ever. I've talked about this in previous videos, but anime has boomed in popularity here in the West. And like with most trends in entertainment, everyone is going to try and profit off of it. Netflix saw how much engagement they were getting when they put up popular anime classics, and now they're streaming their own originals as well as developing several live-action adaptations of popular shows. For better or for worse. But the point is, anime has been recognized in the West as the goldmine that it is, and it is so much easier to be a fan now. We have also seen the rise in simulcasting and simuldubbing with anime-exclusive streaming services like Crunchyroll and Funimation Now, giving fans the opportunity to watch new episodes of their favorite shows right as they drop in Japan. Seriously, the theme of this video could be, there's never been a better time to be an anime fan. Which brings me to, Adrian finger drum roll with me, 2015 to 2016. These are what I like to call the years of the big boys. We got Food Wars, we got One Punch Man, Dragon Ball Super, baby we got My Hero Academia. I don't know why I'm trying to sound like Donkey here. I mean, if you haven't heard of any of these anime, then I don't even know how you stumbled upon this channel. These are like kind of the anime that we eat, sleep, and breathe here. I find it very interesting that One Punch Man and My Hero Academia in particular are the shows that broke into the mainstream and transcended anime fandom as of late, because we're currently living in this golden age of the superhero, with the saturation of Marvel and DC films and television series. Both of these anime, while not reinventing any wheels story-wise, still managed to explode in popularity, I would have to guess because of their premises. Everyone loves a hero, especially when they're an underdog, or comically overpowered, I guess. But to focus on just 2015 for a minute, there were some sweeter offerings too. I still constantly recommend My Love Story and Sound Euphonium. For the fellow crybabies out there, Plastic Memories and Charlotte came out that year as well. Although it doesn't count as a sweeter offering, you can't deny that the writing in Prison School is like, really, really good? Assassination Classroom is a slightly different, though equally traumatic school anime where students compete to kill their adorably horrifying teacher. That sounds like Danganronpa. Is it wrong to try and pick up girls in the dungeon? They presented another sort of ethical dilemma, but this is anime, so we all know what happened in that dungeon. Things that I will never unsee. Monster Musume gave me one of the best premises I've ever heard for an anime, a foreign exchange student program for cryptids. Where exactly do I enroll? But damn, Monster Musume, Danmachi, Prison School, Shimonetta, and Food Wars coming out in the same year. 2015 wasn't just the year for superheroes, but a year of anime you cannot watch in public. So you know that My Hero Academia came out in 2016, but the year had another heavy hitter too. Makoto Shinkai's Your Name made a few $100 million in box office sales and became the highest grossing anime film of all time. Yeah, you heard me right. This was kind of huge because before this, you would rarely see an anime film that wasn't from Studio Ghibli reach this level of widespread success. I believe that we not only have Makoto Shinkai to thank for this, but also distributors like G-Kids, Funimation Films, and 11 Arts. It's all thanks to them that these beautiful films even reach our local theaters. A Silent Voice, Weathering with You, Promare, and so many more amazing anime movies. You see, y'all, the 2010s are the decade of anime decadence. I'm getting hungry. I haven't had lunch yet. One, the creator of One Punch Man, came back with his second series, Mob Psycho 100. While it may not have reached the same heights as One Punch Man, the series got a lot of love, mostly from me. What's not to love in Mob? An emotionally repressed mall goth and a sexy rat man boss? Yes, please. But just like Mob Psycho, there were other really, really good shows that didn't quite reach the same heights. Konosuba and ReZero added some much-needed twists to the isekai genre, while shows like Erased, Orange, and March Comes In Like a Lion toyed with our emotions. Flying Witch, New Game, and Love Live Sunshine sprinkled in some nice slice of life, and Keijo delivered on the weird, ecchi show of the year. However, the hit that nobody saw coming was Yuri on Ice, which aired at the very end of 2016. It captured the hearts of many, including me, and garnered praise from professional figure skaters. And it was like, so gay, so that was pretty cool. 2017 was the year that we unfortunately had to bid farewell to an old friend best known as Boruto's dad. RIP. That is right, after over 200 episodes of Naruto and over 500 of Naruto Shippuden, our favorite ninja boy's journey finally came to a close with one epic and honestly pretty ridiculous punch. And marriage. My Hero Academia was smack dab in the middle of all of its best arcs though, so why cry about ninjas while the sports festival was happening and the hero killer was scheming? Also, Made in Abyss and Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid came out that year. Enough said. Tsukigakure really took me back because it was a not quite so one-to-one reflection of my middle school love life, and it gave us the gift of a super awkward dub. Awkward sounds more like my middle school love life, actually. Or non-existent, I guess. Netflix was back at it again with Little Witch Academia, which appealed to fans of magical girl anime and Harry Potter alike. But Amazon's anime strike was on the scene too, with Made in Abyss, Princess Principal, Inuyashiki, and Land of the Lustrous, which is really just a list of criminally underrated shows that got squashed by Prime Video's weird interface. Does anybody even watch anime on Amazon? Adrian, put your hand down.
I don't! Well, I have.
5 years after its initial debut, we finally got to watch season 2 of Attack on Titan. But 5 years is a long time. Long enough for people to forget how much they loved Attack on Titan. I mean, 2017 wasn't that long ago, and there's still a lot of shows on my watch list from then. This whole decade has been a wild ride for anime, but from 2015 on, things have been hunky-dory. The year was 2018, and the Aggretsuko Netflix series took the world by storm, proving that a Sanrio character doesn't have to be sugar spice and everything nice to make a damn good anime. Devilman Crybaby was another show that ended up being pretty metal, in the metaphorical sense, not like metal music. Darling in the Franxx felt sort of like Trigger's ultimate form, all sharp edges and fluid animation, and sex, with robots. On a more wholesome note, bookseller Honda-san proved that skeletons can be charming. I mean, I always knew that, but that's because I live in a crypt. Oh yeah, and Cells at Work scratched that magic school bus itch I've had ever since that episode where Miss Frizzle flew the school bus right down Arnold's throat. Also, GetintheRobot was born in July 2018. Yep, it's a Cancer, and that feels right. Lots of emotions here. Adrian's a Cancer too. Violet Evergarden deserved every bit of praise. Gridman, Megalobox, and Golden Kamui were gritty, compelling, and just really good. And one of my old favorites came back in 2018. Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card reimagined all of that magical girl goodness, this time with bigger eyes and less censorship. That means more gay. Which finally brings me to last year, 2019. Unfortunately, 2019 was the year of the tragic arson attacks at Kyoto Animation Studios. KyoAni is famously known in the industry for their beautiful, unparalleled in quality animations like K-On!, Sound Euphonium, and Haruhi. KyoAni is also known for how well it treated its staff in order to create these stunning projects, which made the event all the more tragic. Shortly after the tragedy, fans of the famous studio banded together to provide what relief they could, raising over $5 million in the process. On a more positive note, we just recently did a year-end review of our favorite and least favorite 2019 anime, so if you want a little recap, you should check that out. There's a lot of spicy opinions on there, especially from me. If you want my opinions, the big boys were Demon Slayer, Dr. Stone, The Promised Neverland, and Mob Psycho 100 Season 2. So, as we are now in 2020, how are we all feeling about the current state of anime? Personally, I'm feeling hopeful. 10 years ago, I never would have imagined that watching anime would be so easy. I also wouldn't have imagined just how popular anime would become globally. From the growing convention presence to the effect it's had on pop culture altogether, it's pretty clear that anime's influence has reached an all-time high, and hopefully it won't be burning out anytime soon. Let me know what you guys think in the comments though, and also let me know what your predictions and thoughts are for this upcoming decade of anime. I'm Dory, and thank you so much for watching GetintheRobot. It's comfy in here.